Morning everyone. It's been a long time. Well, at least it feels like it's been a long time. I've been on radio silence because of my big week that I've done of training this week. It wasn't big as in like intensity, but it was definitely big as in hours wise. Like probably the biggest week of training I've done, not counting stage races. Like the Tour of Britain was probably a little bit longer in terms of hours. I think it was about 25 hours, but I did 24 this week. So it makes it like it's been well over a year since I've done 24 hours in training. And it was all like pretty much, you know, zone 1, zone 2 riding. Very, very little anywhere else apart from the Zwift race and the ride to Cardiff that I did on Wednesday, which happened to be in a storm. I rode 3.5 hours into a block headwind. To give you some kind of context, I average around 25k an hour and was like basically pushing 250 watts. So it was very slow progress, but there's lots of like, I don't know like which towns, cities, whatever areas you guys live in, but like I was drenched through and stuff, and when I came into Cardiff there was like lots and lots of like homeless people on the street, and it kind of like it hits you even more this time of year. I know it shouldn't, it should hit you the same like all the time, but you know, I was kind of feeling sad and cold and wet the whole ride, and then to get there and see people who pretty much, you know, don't have a choice and are there the whole time. So that's, yeah, it's quite sobering, and not like completely takes away from the pain and suffering I've been experiencing through that ride. So I just hope that most of them have you know, some kind of warmth and food available to them. The week gone by, I did 640k in 24 hours exactly, and just over 9,000 meters of climbing. Yesterday and Saturday, so Saturday and Sunday, I did 2 5-hour days, and again, no intensity in there, no real structure, just riding the bike. Eventually I will kind of do, so what I've done is I've done 13 hours, 16 hours, 24 hours, so it's obviously a big ramp at the end there. What I'll do is I'll recycle that at least for the next kind of 3 weeks, weather permitting, because obviously I'm still in the UK, still in Lertley. But the idea is that in 3 weeks time, when I do the 24-hour block again, I'll be able to do maybe 1 or 2 rides where I will have, you know, major intensity in there. And then in that, when I recycle it again, possibly I'll add another couple of rides. So, but I'll also be changing these other weeks as well, the 13-hour weeks and the 16-hour weeks. I'll be adding intensity into them because obviously there's a lot lower volume in the 13-hour week. So it's different to what I was doing this time last year. I was doing a lot of stuff on the turbo. Other things, I'm coming up to my goal of the year, which is 22,000 kilometers. It's not really a goal, it tends to become a goal in December. You know, it gives me something to kind of aim for when, you know, the weather turns and I'm like, okay, I've got to get on the bike, I've got to add, you know, contribute to some kind of mileage. So that's like a big tick for me, because it's more than last year, but last year I had a big crash anyway. But I've done less racing days this year, so it shows that obviously I've been consistent in training. I've been consistently logging the miles in training, and I've not lacked the motivation to do that basically. The format of the week last week, so what you'd normally find riders do on a 24-hour week is they tend to do it on a training camp, and the training camp would tend to have like a very similar format to what I had, which is 3 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 1 day off. Today's that 1 day off because it's the end of the block, but I'm still going to go out for like an hour and a half, because the thing is, when you come down off a 24-hour block or any kind of training camp, the tendency is like you've completed it and you're like, yeah, all done, and then you take the next day off, and then when you get back on it the day after, you're like, it's hard to get into that mindset of like getting kitted up and getting back on the bike. And maybe I'm just speaking for myself here, but I'm speaking from like 8 years of experience of doing it. So it's not something that I handle very well. So I've kind of, even if I'm just ticking over for today, just to keep myself in that mindset that I've got to keep the ball rolling. I feel good. You know, the first 3-day block was probably a lot harder than the final 3-day block at the end of the week, even though it was 2 5-hour days back to back. It just like, because the intensity was so much lower, it was a lot easier. Earlier in the week the intensity was a lot higher, obviously it was a lot harder. The mileage wasn't as big there, or not the mileage but the hours, but it was like a few things get affected when you do a big week. Maybe you can relate to it, but my sleep was the first thing to like take a nosedive. Not so much, I don't know, like I'm not, I don't track it, I don't have an Oura ring, I don't have a Fitbit. I'm actually thinking of getting an Oura ring, but maybe you guys know stuff about that if you track your sleep, your activity and stuff. What I'm most interested in doing is tracking my sleep, but I could definitely tell this week it's not been great. Like I've been waking up suddenly with the alarm and just feeling well, just not feeling refreshed really in the mornings, even though I've been getting like 8+ hours, 8 to 9 hours, 7 to 9 hours maybe, being generous there, but never anything less than that. It's just that I've just been waking up and I'm like stretching my back and like stretching my, and it's like, you can really feel it. Not so much in the legs, it's funny, it's like more in general fatigue. So that's something I picked up on, yeah. Oh, I was sent this as well. I was sent this by Beckett mugs on Instagram, if you can see that, and this as well. How cool is that? So she makes mugs, like cycling mugs, and they are made of fine bone china, made in Staffordshire in England, and she wanted to make one to celebrate the British Hill Climb Championships, and I think that is really nice. So thank you very much, Beck, for sending that over. I really appreciate it. I probably won't be drinking my coffee out of it. It's probably going to be going in the most safest place, with like, well, it's probably going to go in my kit room with all my other like memorabilia and stuff. So yeah, thanks for sending that over. Anything else I need to tell you about? Oh, it's Christmas this week. Yeah. Lots of the guys I'm coaching, they're going out for some big rides this week. I'm not actually. Obviously this is my 13-hour week now, but some of them have been messaging me going, can you factor this into my training? Can you know, I don't want to take the day off on Christmas Day, I want to go out and ride. And it's funny like how some people have certain like rules and regulations, like I'm gonna sneak out for Christmas Day morning, I'm gonna like, you know, go out for a sneaky hour. Can you factor this into my training? And like, can you I want to do a big ride on Boxing Day. Our club is doing a big ride on Boxing Day. We used to do that as well, actually. But yeah, I won't be doing any of that, that's for sure. This is going to be like my chill. And I've planned it well enough so that I can take, I think probably for the first time in a while, take a slight break, my foot off the gas over the Christmas period. So, so I'm not going to be stressing about anything. But I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas, you and your family, your cycling friends, your cycling community as well, and I hope you get every kind of cycling gift you wish for. Maybe not cycling gift, maybe you get something a bit left field that's not cycling related, but who wants that? Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good Christmas, guys. See ya.